Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another book review. By the way, happy St. Patrick's Day, Erin Gabra. Anywho, actually I could say that it's a little bit different for me because I actually have some Irish blood in my background, but anywho, I recently read John Green's The Fault in Our Stars, and believe it or not, I just recently learned that Mr. Green is from Indianapolis, so I was very proud of that, very pleased. And it's a very short book, and I probably would have gotten through this in a day had I had the time to just sit down and read it and not been at work. And it's about these two teenagers, and it's very interesting, actually, because it's actually very it's very poignant, and it's actually very heartwarming and touching, and also very heartrending at the same time, with the two main characters that are involved. And trying to remember his name. I remember was Gus. Her name, I was trying to remember what her name was. Dangnabbit. I mean, I just read this and I can't believe my brain is gone. Oh my god, this is horrible. Hazel. Yeah, I couldn't remember Hazel. It's not a very common character name, but anyway, it's a love story between Hazel and Gus, and I'm not going to go into detail about how this romance actually begins. Actually, the romance thing is a little bit of a spoiler, but they have a instantaneous connection the moment they meet, and it's really quite a beautiful thing. It's a story about how frail and fragile human beings actually are. It's about life and death, and that we really don't know whether we're going to live one day to the next, depending. And I know this sounds kind of fatalistic, but there's a lot of philosophy in this book, which I absolutely love, in psychology, and it's just one of those books that takes hold of you and never really lets you go, and makes you ask the big questions about life. For instance, why are we here? Why do we suffer pain? Are there others out there who feel the same way or suffer the same affliction that I do? I can't really talk about what the book is really centering on, because if I do, it's like I said, it'll ruin it. But I'll give you a little clue. I've actually seen this firsthand, and what it can do to people. And you have to remember the good times that you have with that person. Yeah, it is difficult, because when someone you love dies, it kind of leaves a hole in your life, in your heart. But you never lose your memory. There really is no such thing as oblivion, and in the book, that's one thing that Augustus fears the most. And I have to say, I'm afraid of death, as crazy as it sounds. Well, the only reason I'm afraid of death is I don't know what will be waiting for me on the other side, even though I am I am a Christian. I still am scared to death of death. Yeah, to use a redundancy, sorry, but it's just one thing people don't like talking about. It's the elephant in the room, so to speak, and nobody ever wants to breach that subject, just because it's not a comfortable subject at all. And this book attacks it head on and looks at it through the eyeglasses of adolescence. And you would think that it would be different, but since they're facing something that's rather malicious, I'm not going to say what it is, but since they're facing something rather malicious, it's something that they get a whole new perspective on life. And most of it takes place in Indianapolis, but there's another part that takes a fair prominence in Amsterdam. And it's really quite intriguing how it comes about. It's all because Hazel's been reading this book called Imperial Affliction, and it's about the Dutch tulip man and his romance with Anna. And just sort of at the end of the book, it just kind of, it's like The Lady or the Tiger. The reader themselves are meant to make a decision whether the main character chooses the Lady or the Tiger. That's the title of the book. But Imperial Affliction is the same thing. But instead, it just leaves a sentence unfinished, and that's a lot like life. They equivocate that to life. There's a lot of metaphor and simile and allegory, which is really quite absolute genius in this book, and it arrests you. It's just like with the book thief and the ending of the book thief, though you know it's coming. It's not depressing at all, I thought, even though I was crying when I read it, because I've been through it. The things that I have gotten from this is just to cherish everything that you have and live for the day. Don't be worried about tomorrow. Take each day as it comes, and just breathe more deeply and exhale with more flourish, because that way you feel more cleansed and calmer. Even with the smallest things in your life, it's the tiniest things can become a blessing, and this is about that very thing and how interconnected we are. Even though we might see others as being different, we're not. We're all human beings. That's what makes us part of the race or the species we know as Homo sapien. We have to learn. We have far yet to go, but I feel that with books such as these that are very spiritual, full of insight, are worth delving into. And when summer comes, I definitely want to see this film. And it's just absolutely sensational, and I loved it. And I'm going to read a little bit about John on the last page, and I don't know if you can see the leaflet, but there's Mr. Green, and he's become another one of my favorite authors. It says that Mr. Green is an award-winning New York Times best-selling author whose many accolades include the Prince Medal, a Prince Honor, and the Edgar Award. That's huge. The Edgar Award is an award for mystery writing. I'm not sure what the Prince Honor is, because I've heard of it, but I don't know what it's for, so I may have to look that up. He has twice been a finalist for the LA Times Book Prize. With his brother Hank, John is one of the half of the Vlogbrothers, youtube.com/vlogbrothers. One of the most popular online video projects in the world. You can join the millions who follow John on Twitter at RealJohnGreen, or Tumblr, fishboatproceeds.tumblr.com, or visit him online at johngreenbooks.com. John lives with his family in Indianapolis, Indiana. Yay, Indianapolis! Sorry, a little bit of hometown pride there. Woo! But I had to. Anyway, this book, 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, hands down, unequivocally, no fault, no debating, no anything. It's just a perfect book, and I look with high anticipation to the movie this summer. So, oh yeah, and I think it does will be taking. I think it actually was filmed in my home. We'll see. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really say that for sure. So you gotta wait until summer for me to do the review. But until next time, live long and prosper, everybody, and ciao, tutti.